Hey, I just want to give some free advice to the white progressives, particularly white progressive women who may be thinking about marching against the Trump victory, maybe putting back on the P-word hats and doing that thing. I would just say probably don't send any of those invites to any Black women you know. I'm just going to tell you right now, they're not coming. I'm pretty sure Black women have resigned from the Save America Coalition, Save Democracy Coalition, and definitely the Save the Democratic Party Coalition. I think that's probably not happening. I would just keep those invites maybe among your own friends, because I don't think they're coming.
I'm sure you've heard people say that the 2024 election was the end of mainstream media as we know it, which sounds a lot like a conservative talking point, but we'll tell you here today why that may literally be the case. We have MSNBC hemorrhaging viewership since the election so bad that Comcast is apparently considering selling it off altogether. Similar things are happening at CNN, and to some degree, you do love to see it. Am I right? So with that said, folks, do us a big favor. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. And why should you subscribe? Because it ensures that independent media is going to win this war against the mainstream. And guys, we're trying to hit 400,000 subs by Trump's inauguration. Help us get there for free by hitting that red button down below. And with that said, I mean, here are the numbers for you. Apparently, MSNBC's ratings ever since the election have cratered by 50%. They're hemorrhaging viewers. And like we brought up, Comcast is currently considering selling it off. And yeah, this guy is right. I cannot possibly imagine why that may be happening.
And it's this idea of I want to be with the side that's waving the biggest flag. I want to fit in. And there is a huge element, to be honest, of anti-Blackness in a lot of this. Anti-Black Americanness specifically. And Paola and I have talked about this, that there is a part of that anti-Blackness is a piece of it. Even though Enrique Tarrio, who's the head of the Proud Boys, is a Black Latino, but he's down with white supremacists. Down with them. And there's this idea that I'm Black, but I'm not Black. I may look Black to you. I may be Black if I'm walking through Bloomingdale's and get followed around. But in my mind, I'm identifying with whiteness because whiteness means privilege and it means not being a Black American. This has to be unpacked because this shift among Latino men is significant. And it says something about where we're going in this country, about whether we can create an appeal. There's also, the last thing I will throw in is the creation of the idea that everything that Vice President Harris was proposing is communism. That is a potent argument for a lot of Latinos.
So apparently the reason that Latino men swung for Trump this time around is because they are down with white supremacy, despite the fact that Latinos overwhelmingly supported Barack Obama back in 2008 and 2012. Again, I really wonder why people have stopped watching this crap. In fact, that was my question for a long time. You turn on MSNBC, it's like, how can anyone watch this? Well, it turns out they are not. Here are some of the numbers around the election. MSNBC was getting in primetime viewership like 1.2 million people live. Apparently now ever since that has dropped to around 700,000. So yeah, very close to losing literally half of their audience. And part of that, don't get me wrong, may simply be because of demoralization, right? The left just lost. They're not happy about the election. They'll check back in eventually. But it apparently seems that this is a trend that's been happening for a number of years now. And that seems to be reinforced by these reports that Comcast is considering putting MSNBC up for sale, right? Because if it's just a temporary dip and people will come back, then what would you have to worry about? Clearly, this is a long-standing trend that's been going on. And what's also very interesting is that this time around, the mainstream media is not getting what we would call the Trump boost, right? Because the first time around with Trump, the media actually profited a lot off of the Trump derangement syndrome. Oh, he's so bad. Russia, all of this. Well, apparently this time around, that is not happening. A lot of people on their side have simply checked out. And I think a big reason for this, as we talked about when David Pakman was complaining about the same thing, is that to some degree, a lot of the left-wing audience feels very misled, right? It's not just exclusively about that demoralization factor. It actually turns out that when you lie to people for so long, when you say, oh, this is going to crater Trump, Kamala Harris is a great candidate who's running a fantastic campaign, as Joy Reid said on election night, it was flawless. And then people see the actual results, even if you're you're a Democrat, even if you don't like Trump, you have to look at these people and say, they're liars. Or to some degree, at the very least, they know nothing about the political strategy. Why do we keep listening to them when all of their advice and their insight translates to us, instead of winning, actually constantly losing time and time again in the elections? And Joy Reid does not seem to be doing MSNBC any favors, because take a listen as she recently lashed out against liberal white women who are the overwhelming audience of MSNBC. And it's like, okay, you're struggling, you're hemorrhaging money here. You might be getting fired soon for all we know. And your response is to lash out at the people who are keeping your business afloat. Don't know if that's very smart, but take a listen.
Hey, I just want to give some free advice to the white progressives, particularly white progressive women who may be thinking about marching against the Trump victory, maybe putting back on the P-word hats and doing that thing. I would just say probably don't send any of those invites to any black women you know. I'm just going to tell you right now, they're not coming. I'm pretty sure black women have resigned from the Save America Coalition, Save Democracy Coalition, and definitely the Save the Democratic Party Coalition. I think that's probably not happening. I would just keep those invites maybe among your own friends, because I don't think they're coming. But yeah, I think black women are now on the Save Black Women, Prioritize Black Men, and prioritize black communities, black businesses, and the black spaces. But Save America, Save the Democratic Party, yeah, I don't think that's happening.
It's like, yeah, I'm not exactly upset that Joy Reid is trying to divide her own coalition. Okay, go ahead. Hey, less people marching against Trump, that's fine. But at the same time, you really have to be asking the question, first of all, who the heck is Joy Reid to be giving political advice to anyone? Again, you were the person who said that Kamala Harris ran a flawless campaign. Clearly, your insane Trump derangement did not help deliver a victory for Democrats at all whatsoever. And secondly, do you not understand that this type of division, this type of identity politics, so black women are gone, they're going to prioritize black community, let's have racial separatism. That's the reason why you're losing the elections. One of the reasons, at least. But I guess, yeah, let's just double down on the woke when, it continuously proves that it's not working. Again, maybe that's what Democrat voters are thinking. Maybe that's why they're giving up on MSNBC, because it's like these people will never change. And clearly this strategy is not working for us. I have absolutely no idea. I'm just looking at these ratings and saying, yeah, you guys seem to be in trouble. Now, if you think it's something that's exclusive to MSNBC, that is not true at all, because apparently, according to Puck News and reporting here from Colin Rugg, just in, CNN will be firing hundreds of employees, including some of their top stars, according to Puck News. The news comes as CNN's Chris Wallace says he is not returning after his contract expires. In the next few months, I'm told, CNN will implement another round of layoffs that will impact hundreds of employees across the organization, according to reporting from Dylan Byers. Some of the on-air talent are also likely to be affected. It's unclear at the moment who will be axed, but take a look at this. I mean, this is how much CNN is currently paying some of its stars. So Anderson Cooper is out here making $20 million a year. Jake Tapper makes $7 million. We have Caitlin Collins and Wolf Blitzer both making $3 million a year. And it really begs the question, where does all this money come from in the mainstream media? Because there's a lot of YouTubers out there who literally get more views than any of these CNN people do. And by the way, they make the content themselves, right? They don't have this fancy production team of 20 other people they have on payroll. And it really makes you, again, what justifies $20 million a year for Anderson Cooper when I understand he's a very famous figure in the United States, but still, where are you getting the money for it? This is what happens when, for a very long time, a combination of old baby boomers and the pharmaceutical industry, which overwhelmingly advertises on cable news, is keeping you afloat. But clearly you see now that's not working out so well, right? This is a dying industry. Time is not on their side. And unless they rapidly change and figure out a way to actually appeal to people, besides very low IQ fear mongering that clearly did not stop Trump in the election despite all of their efforts, it may once again be the end of mainstream media as we know it. Hey, I guess that's what happens. Just saying. I don't cheer for the destruction of anyone's particular livelihood for sure. But at the same time, these are the people who have wanted us in the independent media to be deplatformed for so many years. They threw out insane allegations against us. And ultimately, you have to ask the question now, who really owns the future? I'll give you the answer. It's not CNN. It's not MSNBC. It's not even Fox News, although they're currently in a better position than the other two, but independent media does, right? The internet, the grassroots. And I think it's a good thing, honestly, for civilization, because you see the echo chamber on these networks. You see the propaganda. Isn't it a little shady to begin with? Like, they're literally financially propped up by pharmaceutical drug companies. Yeah, it's time that we got a shift in the media landscape. And I'm very glad to see that Donald Trump's election in 2024, among many other aspects of his legacy, this may be one of them. So with that said, guys, let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comment section down below. Be sure to leave a like on this video, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, God bless and peace.